Digestion, a show of hands. Who of you guys have any digestion problems? Or is anyone intolerant to anything? Angie, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I have digestion problems. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know that I have an intolerance. I think that, yeah, I have digestion problems.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I myself too, I actually became lactose intolerant when I was 20. Well, if you have any digestion problems, even like bloating and certain things like that, I'm going to help you re-inoculate your digestive system. And there's a couple of supplements that you can use to do this. Okay. What's actually happening as soon as you eat, you're chewing your food. That's when digestion starts. In fact, it starts when you actually touch food and are looking at your food that you're about to eat. That's when your organs start to actually ramp up. Enzymes start to get produced in the stomach, literally when you're preparing your food and you're starting to cook it. So that's actually when digestion starts, but it physically starts when you start chewing your food. So as soon as you chew your food, it's breaking down that food. It's combining chemically with your saliva. And then now there's a reaction that starts occurring and digestion's starting to break down the food more effectively. Your saliva starts that process. Well, as soon as you swallow your food, it goes into your stomach, and your stomach has what's called enzymes that actually further break down your food in the stomach acid. By then, your food is starting to get down to, littler pieces. And then once it goes from your stomach, it's going to go, as soon as it breaks it down to very small pieces, it goes into your intestines for the gut flora that live in your intestines to break it down even further. And all gut flora is good for you symbiotic bacteria that is just working to break down the food you're consuming. And we got billions and billions of these good for you bacteria that live there. And there's about 40 different cultures that live in your intestines. Okay. If you have a full spectrum of all of the enzymes and all of the cultures of bacteria, you could break down any food, no problem. But what happens is, for most of us, we eat a certain way, which certain foods get broken down by certain enzymes and by certain cultures of bacteria in the intestines. And what happens is, over time of years or decades of eating a certain way, is your body naturally fosters the growth of certain enzymes and certain cultures of bacteria primarily, which means other enzymes go away and other cultures of gut flora go away as well. So let's just say you start to eat healthier and you're trying to eat fruits and vegetables or whole grains, but you get lots of digestion problems from it. It's because you don't have the right enzymes or the right cultures of bacteria to break down that food effectively. So it's not a problem with you. It's just a problem with how we've been eating for a long time in our life here. Well, there's 3 supplements, 2 mainly, but 3 if you wanted to, that will help you re-inoculate your digestive system. One of them is digestive enzymes, which re-inoculate the enzymes in your stomach. And I highly recommend a full spectrum enzyme, meaning all of the enzymes that you need. Same thing with a probiotic is gut flora. So a probiotic is the good for you symbiotic bacteria. And I highly recommend the more cultures, the better. Usually there's like 8 billion to 100 billion CFUs, which is the amount of bacteria that's in that culture. But then there's different types of cultures. And I have it in my book actually. But there's like 20 something different cultures mainly that you would get from a probiotic. Get the most amount of cultures from your probiotic. That's my recommendation, because that'll help you digest the most amount of foods, actually, the greatest amount of foods. And then prebiotic or postbiotic is simply food for the probiotic, for the gut flora. Well, what's cool is all this is vegetables, because that's what those bacteria naturally eat, is like spinach and fiber, like from your vegetables. It actually consumes that. So all a prebiotic or postbiotic is broken up spinach, veggies, and that type of thing. So if you're already eating that way, you don't necessarily need to take a prebiotic or postbiotic, because your body's naturally getting the foods that your probiotics already are going to be eating. So really the first 2 are what I recommend if you have digestion problems. And Angie, I know you and I have talked about this a lot. Basically, when a food is getting digested in your stomach, if it can't digest in your stomach, it's going to kind of give you like stomach pains. Mm-hmm. And literally, like literal stomach pains happen in the body, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't cause bloating though until it gets to your intestines. So if you're getting a lot of gas and bloating issues, that's from the gut flora.
Yeah, the digestive enzymes, they really work. My problem is I forget to take them.
Okay. Yeah.
So they really do work. I mean, if I could just be more consistent with using them, I would be in better shape. So I would highly recommend them as well. It's just I have to be more consistent.
No worries. We're all on this journey, Ange. Seriously. So that's all we want to kind of focus in on is if we do have digestion problems, these are some of the things you can tap into. And I've tried lots of different brands and a lot of them work great. There are a couple in particular that work really, really well. Dr. Tobias enzymes are awesome. Garden of Life enzymes are great. And there's a handful that are really good. Same with probiotics. If you can get them refrigerated, those are awesome because they're living cultures. Some of them have a shelf life though that you can get that are not refrigerated that still work pretty well. The idea though is test it out for yourself and see how it makes you feel. How you'd actually take them is for digestive enzymes. You could take it a few minutes before any meal. And quite honestly, before every meal if you wanted to. So literally you could take a digestive enzyme up to 6 times a day if you needed to. And it'll help you just simply digest every single meal if you're eating 6 times. For a probiotic, you just take it once in the morning or once at night. And you determine when you want to do it because it honestly helps you regulate your bowels. So if at night you're taking it and you're eliminating like during the day at work, you might not want that to happen. So you might want to take it in the morning. So you eliminate at night, or you have to kind of experiment with that for yourself. Okay. What I find is I take it in the morning. It just keeps me regular and I eliminate beautifully the next morning. Like it's just kind of, you got to kind of see how your body works with it. But if you take those, they will simply help you break down your food most effectively. It'll help you actually get the nutrients, vitamins, minerals from your food all the way. And in other words, it'll help you utilize the energy from your foods most effectively. And you're simply setting yourself up for success. So I highly recommend, even if you don't have digestion problems, to try this out because it'll get the most out of your food.